Lucky bamboo root rot is a common problem that these popular houseplants face in their growth journey. What does lucky bamboo root rot look like? Lucky bamboos are known to bring good fortune, but these plants have their problems too. They commonly develop a condition known as lucky bamboo root rot. This happens if the potting soil they grow in becomes too damp. It will show symptoms of wilting leaves, lesions or browning on the leaves that spread towards the stem, and moldy growing tips. The stems will become mushy and slimy with time. It will not be able to absorb nutrients properly, making the leaves turn yellow and fall off. If left untreated, these potted plants can die within weeks due to growth stunting and lack of new growth emerging from the base of older stalks. As the plant continues to die, the plant's new shoots may also wilt or curve upwards. What causes root rot in lucky bamboo? Lucky bamboo root rot occurs when you overwater your lucky bamboo houseplant. Overwatering provides the perfect environment for fungal spores to germinate and infect your bamboo plant roots through their simple pores. Lucky bamboo receives ample watering once every 1 or 2 weeks. However, allowing them to sit in stagnant water for a prolonged period will encourage root rot. Lucky bamboo enjoys room temperature water, not too cold or too hot. The root rot can set in within a few days if your plant sits in cold or hot water, as this disrupts the balance between soil and roots. If we imagine normal well-drained soil, you water the soil displaces air from the soil, and then, as the water drains through and is absorbed by the plant, the air is pulled back into the soil. If the soil is wet and does not drain, the oxygen levels in the soil will drop. This then makes the soil unattractive to the plant roots and they die and rot. You drown your plant. How to deal with lucky bamboo plant rot? Stop overwatering your plant. It should be watered once or twice a week with room temperature water. Leave it in the same container as long as possible without allowing it to sit in stagnant water for extended periods. The soil should be allowed to dry out slightly between watering. This will encourage growth and prevent disease by discouraging fungal spores from growing on the roots of the plant where they may cause damage. If you have multiple lucky bamboos, separate them into individual pots so that each one can have its own space and standing water. Replace the water. If you are growing a lucky bamboo plant in standing water, replace the water weekly and fertilize it. Do not over-fertilize your plant. Refrain from adding any fertilizer before knowing your plant's needs. Excess amounts of fertilizer can also encourage overgrowth and root rot in lucky bamboo. If you suspect your plant is suffering from lucky bamboo root rot, avoid fertilizing it. Repot your plant. If it starts developing root rot, repotting it into a fresh sterile planting mix will help inhibit the spread of disease and allow new healthy growth to emerge. Ensure drainage holes in the bottom of the pot are open so excess water can quickly flow out of the pot to prevent any standing water. Trim the leaves back so that the plant does not need to get water to its leaves. It will be able to use the energy in its stem to put out roots and will grow new leaves when it needs them. Clean up the plant. Removing affected areas will help your plant combat this condition with its natural defenses. Cut the damaged roots away. These contain most of the pathogen that causes lucky bamboo root rot. Dispose of these roots or stems to reduce the risk of spreading them across your other plants. Repot the plant with a fresh sterile drained planting mix after cutting off affected stalks to encourage new healthy growth. Change the soil. Once repotted, water very occasionally after about a week of repotting, and the plant will slowly recover. Change the regular potting mix. To encourage healthy root growth, change your potting mix to a slightly coarse, fast-draining mix that will encourage healthy root growth and reduce the risk of lucky bamboo root rot. If your plant develops lucky bamboo root rot, you should treat it immediately to prevent it from spreading up the stem. If you catch this problem early on, your potted lucky bamboo will bounce back and resume healthy. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.